Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Welcome, Facebook family, and to the public as well. This is a public live video, which I don't often do. Thank you in advance right now for being here, for showing up and just connect with me. I might just move because I know or better yet, I'm just gonna kill the Wi-Fi, so I'm using 4G. At least that way we have consistent feed. There we go. Beautiful. If you're watching back, hashtag replay or hashtag replay crew. If you're watching and you're present with this, you're gonna stay here for the entire talk. I'm gonna go by feel here. We got a few awesome things we're gonna share. Hashtag replay present crew. First, while we're waiting for people to come in as well, I just wanna have a quick chat about, we'll do the first two things, talk about forgiveness as a topic, and then the current state of the world. So forgiveness, while I was going through my feed this morning, found this beautiful, it's almost like a statement list of commitments by Jessica Palmer, who is passing down that information. And I read through it and it was so powerful to me, I had to read it out loud and commit to myself all those things, because every single thing was relevant, was important to me, has integrity. So I read it out. Those were my promises to myself. Feel free to scroll down my timeline. It should be there. I should have made it public as well. But one of them really jumped out, and a friend of mine, just earlier, we were messaging, and she asked me, what is forgiveness to you, and what isn't forgiveness? So feel free, if you're watching right now, feel free to comment your thoughts on the subject of forgiveness, and I'll share with you my point of view. Forgiveness to me, the best way to answer it is with the question, what is the ideal form of forgiveness? And, how would you like to be forgiven? When you know that you're at fault, you're in fallacy, in your flaws, if you feel guilt, how would you like to be forgiven? And I'm going to harken back to Jesus Christ. Now, I'm not religious. I was raised very strong Pentecostal Christian when I was growing up. I'm much more agnostic now. I draw from everything. It's called the School of Modern Thought. And but Jesus was probably the prime example of forgiveness. He's a person that, it's despite the fact that people are wrong, people misunderstood him, and people called him names that had nothing to do with him. He still loved them unconditionally, unrequitedly. That to me is the optimal form of forgiveness. It's easy said, hard to do. I like to think that I apply that, and it's important to apply it to yourself as well. It's ultimately just being extremely kind, radically kind to yourself. You understand that you're doing the best you can. So you are gonna fuck up. We're human. So I'll talk the giving of forgiveness and the receiving of forgiveness, because for me, I think forgiving someone is also the act of forgiving someone. You do it more. It sounds strange, but it's for yourself as well, because there's no point in holding on to guilt or hatred or judgment or grudge on someone when they've done something to you, because that's a weight that you have to carry. It has nothing to do with them. That's your emotional response to them. So if you could learn to forgive, if I'll just use the I frame, right? If I could learn to forgive someone, despite what they are doing, despite not them understanding where I'm coming from, despite the words or the names that they're calling me, whether it's completely misunderstood, that's forgiveness. To be able to agape love someone, forgive, to unrequitedly and unconditionally love somebody, despite the fact. So I think this is the question is, what is forgiveness, right? And I would respond with, what's the ideal form of forgiveness? So, like, if I don't want to use I don't use examples that have to use names. So, say if I was done wrong by somebody, all right, and I can think of at least 2 personal instances recently. The best thing that I could do is to know that they're coming from a good place, and their map of the world and my map of the world are different, and you know, and the territory, which is reality, is the objective truth. But I forgive them because they're doing the best they can, and that gives me a sense of letting go, a sense of freedom. And I think this topic is really good because I want to pivot on this and talk about the current state of the world. I feel like it's important if I start sharing about my personal stuff. Let's address the pink elephant. It's we're in an interesting time. We're COVID times right now. We're slowly seeing this is the first week back in terms of a lax in restrictions, which is amazing. I've been supporting my local cafe, going there about 3 times this week. It's a beautiful thing to see that we've gone up on the hill and now we're finally coming downhill, which is great. Dean Whitfield, what's up? Stephen Chen, what's going on? Chris Rycroft, what's going on? I want to acknowledge you guys for being here. Thank you. So I just want to first say that all lives matter. All lives matter. Like, I believe that as a human family, as a human society, that we are an inclusive people. Like, the ideal best version of ourselves is an inclusive and very multinational, multiracial, mixed group of people that reflects who I am on the inside. But the current topic that everyone's talking about right now is important as well. Hashtag Black Lives Matter. So while that's the main topical thing as well, I mean, you can go into details. There's a lot to be said about that. I try not to be political, so I will kind of just, if you have thoughts or questions that you want to hit me personally and stuff, I'm happy to chat. But generally speaking, in a public forum, I don't go political. I don't go religious. It's too divisive for me. It's too polarizing. So a wise man once said, "Yeah, don't ever talk politics or religion under a roof, because that causes division, and we don't need that as much these days." All right. Hashtag together at home. Okay. How we doing, guys? I just want to check in with you all. If you're watching, feel free to hashtag replay crew if you're watching from the future. If you're watching present, hashtag present crew. And this is just, my intention for sharing this video is I want to start a habit of making videos at the same time every week. And it's probably going to be about Dreammaker coaching, and more specifically about serving the greater humanity, but also actors specifically, which we'll get into that. My why. If you guys don't know me, I'm Chris Masasma. I've been a working actor of 14 years. Been a paid actor for 10 years. And it's been a beautiful journey. The reason why we're launching my new business or entity or identity coming Wednesday at 9:30 p.m. There's going to be a virtual Zoom party. We're going to cap it at about 60 people, and it's going to be super fun and super awesome. It's going to be a cocktail theme party. And the theme is to come as the best version of yourself. Come as the best version of yourself. There'll be speed dating in the center of it, which is basically a networking thing. The people that are going to be there are going to be creative entrepreneurs, actors, and coaches. We're talking performance coaches, mindset, heart set, emotional intelligence. Good on you. Rate the forgiveness philosophy. Thank you, Stephen. Jesse Mill, what's up? So that's the kind of people that I tend to associate with. These are my circles of friendships, circles of relationships. And so I'm bringing all these people together and having a celebration of an identity shift. In the coaching terms, it means that when you're progressing, so you're having an identity shift, and you want to surround yourself with people that support you, fan your flame, and love you for that. And the sad truth of it too is that means I probably will be letting go of some old friends as well. I have a handful of friends that I've kept across a decade, and I hope to see them there as well. Just shout out some names: Milo, Michael Bryan, and Antonius van der Kerkhoff. You guys are super dear to me, so I'll tag you guys on the bottom. Guys, so we are gonna have an amazing time at this party, and I'll be sharing this little spiel there as well. But so just so you guys get like a bit of sneak peek as well. This is my why. This is why I do this. I've been making my dreams a reality ever since I was 16. I was fortunate enough at 16 to take a bludge class. A friend of mine, Curtis Smoke, he said, "Hey, why don't you do this theater studies with me? It's super easy. It'll be an easy A. I'm going to hang out and have fun." I'm like, dude, that's an awesome idea. Let's do it. Little did I know, and it sounds really cliche, but I fell in love with it. Acting was my first love as a subject. And it's interesting because I A+ acting and I A+ photography. So it's interesting how that led me to my path, becoming an actor, working in films, as a filmmaker, all that. The past 4 years, I've been basically, as a sideline, on and off, I've been coaching actors privately. So I've coached about 40 different actors. I did a count, it was about 60 hours of coaching. So again, purely just a sideline thing. But that was how I saw myself improving myself as an actor. I hit a certain peak where I'm probably one of the most trained actors in Victoria. 2 years of, I'm just going to rattle this off, guys. If you guys know acting in the school's modalities of acting, I did 2 years IB Theater Studies, university level. In high school, I did 2 years VCA Winter Intensives. I did a year of Meisner Melbourne with Claire D. That's the professional actors program for 9 months, 3 days a week. We've got 3 years of Strasbourg. That's quote unquote method, which is a misnomer. And then a bit of stand-up comedy, School of Hard Knock Knocks, trained with them. So a lot. I'm talking like every acting school in Victoria I've touched on, audited, or trained with. So you can imagine I'm an Asian American in Australia. Like this, you have to super skill up. So what I found when I was coaching actors, I realized that there are two things that are often missing. New actors tend to have some personal problems that they're trying to get through. And financial problems they're trying to get through as well. And so my approach to sort that all out is to look for a place where I can train, that I can learn holistically how to solve these problems. And I found that in TCI, the Coaching Institute. And so here I am now. And this is coming off of back. So again, I'm going to trace back a different part of my life. About 6 years ago, I lost a former love of my life. And because of that, I went on this beautiful, obsessed mission of personal development for the past 6 years, drawing from Tony Robbins, from Robin Sharma, from Eric Thompson, the hip-hop preacher, but every form, just really absorbing as much as I can. Now I'm on a program. I'm a master practitioner coach at the Coaching Institute in a 2-year program. So my life, my whole calling now has shifted. So now it's about serving people. It's about helping people holistically in any problems that they have, whether it's financial, whether it's relationships, whether it's the breaking of promises that send you on a spiral to a low energetic state, to depression, because of procrastination. I'm here to bring you back up, to show you your true worth, your light, and that you are loved. So that's why I do coaching. So specifically with the niches too, I'll just jump into this. I know, thank you so much for listening, by the way. This is a lot of information to process. But yeah, recently I've been working with my mentor, Dan Burgess, on niching. I follow the philosophy of yes. Sharon Pearson said, who do you coach when you start out? Just coach anyone with a heartbeat. Okay? Because we're all the same. We all have the same problems, same needs. End of the day, if you've lived in 8 countries like I have, you start to realize that we're all the same in some sense or matter. When you cut us, we still bleed. It's the same thing. We all want, stability, safety, like a family of loved ones, roof over our head, food. Vitor, what's going on, man? You're just coming into the 2/3 of it into we're now talking about niching, so you're good at this stuff. So with So on the one hand, I do come from a place of love and come from a place of service, and I would do this now that I'm doing it. Like, I'll share with you the story. I on two levels here. So the reason why I know that I'm solid, that I'm really good at this. I mean, this is gonna sound like I'm bragging. Literally, it is what it is. I'm the guy that started up the Peloton in my group. In other words, organized the crew of about 30 people from a Fox weekend, the Foundations of Coaching Success. And within the first week of coaching, I had 2 paying clients. And that's purely because also, like, again, I knew my mission for a while. So I've been working in the background, pulling people together and trialing and practicing coaching already. At one webinar I was sitting in, and Victor was probably there. It's a really great professional coach of 2.5 years. He's one of the webinar speakers, and someone asked him, "What's your career highlights?" And he said, "Well, I helped save 3 people from suicide." And it got me thinking. I was like, that's interesting, because within the past 3 weeks, I helped 3 people who had suicidal ideations and turned that around for them. The beautiful story, I'm sure she's happy for me to share, is this French actress who I hadn't spoken to for 2 years. We met at a film festival, and we just traded contacts then. Fast forward to recently, this is probably about 4 weeks ago. I wrote on Facebook, I said, if anyone is going through depression or just wants to talk, message me, let me know, I'm here for you. So she messaged me out of the blue, and she said, hey, I'm stuck in Amsterdam. My family and friends are all in France. I got no one here, and I'm sorry that it took me a while to contact you. I need help. And without going into too much details and stuff, she showed me the state that she's in, and so I knew I need to talk to her. So that same night, gave her a call. Like we chatted for a bit, gave her a call, and then we literally talked for like 2.5 hours. And it's just a lot of talking and finding out more about her. I realized that she's an event organizer, that she brings people together, and just a lot of affirmation and validation and love just sent her way. And now we had a recent coaching session, and she just got a job. Right? Like the coaching session was just before she went for an interview, and she just got a job. So it's super exciting when I hear these stories like that. And when I'm in that position, it's, if you're spiritual, man, it's God-given. These moments are God-given. They're grace. I don't choose to put these people in my life. It just happens. So I'm just like, I just happen to be there with the tools necessary and just the love that I can share. Turned her life around. There's 2 other guys I could get into, but I'll save it for another story. Guys, if you're here all the way through to this point, I want to thank you, and I want to share with you the official launch party mixer. So the Dreammaker's official launch party. It's a soft opening. Happens this coming Wednesday. We've timed it so that it happens after a bunch of webinars that we normally have on Wednesday. But it's 9:30. If you are parents or with kids, make sure that you have a good night's rest before. It's going to be wild. So again, the theme is come as the best version of yourself. Thank you, brother. Fantastic. You're definitely an awesome coach. Man, I appreciate it, man. So come as the best version of yourself, or your ideal average self, if you know the terms. Come as, if you want as well, there's a cocktail theme. So come dressed like it's a cocktail. Not as a cocktail, but it's a cocktail party. There's going to be a mixer in the center of it. So in the middle half of it, we're going to do speed dating. So actual proper networking. And again, the people that are going to be there are creative entrepreneurs, the kind of guys that I hang out with, guys and girls. You've got actors and filmmakers, and you also got coaches, performance coaches, mindset, heart set coaches. It's going to be quite exciting. So I'd love for you to be there. If you're interested in coming, write your name in the comments below. I will send you an invite probably later tonight. It's gonna be a lot of fun. I bring your own cocktails. This is all on Zoom, so you bring your own drinks, and we're gonna have a good time. So it's a celebration, really, of where I've come and where we're going. So, all right. I've taken too much of your time already. Not really. So, hashtag sorry, not sorry. Thank you for watching. You could be anywhere in this world right now, and you're here right now with us listening. So I appreciate you. Mike Hill, what's up? Feel free, Mike, to watch the replay. There's a lot of content in here. Starting with forgiveness. Good topic. All right. God bless you all. God, universe, source bless you. May the infinite knowledge, wisdom, and love of the universe pass through you, and so that you may serve others to the best of your ability. And we'll talk to you, and we'll see you in the next one. God bless.